So we might as well go for a drive, considering we just have to put in the blow-off valve in. I've actually done a few mods over this June bank holiday weekend. I have painted the one of the back wheels. 2 weeks prior to that I had painted the 2 front brake calipers and the 2 front wheels with Plastidip. Plastidip, well it's an off-brand Plastidip from a crowd called Cardip UK. It's roughly £7.50 per can, 30 quid in total for a pack of 4, which will do all 4 wheels. So oh, that sounds sexual. Listen to that. I really hope that comes across on the camera. I really do. It just sounds fucking gorgeous. I know I really shouldn't be cursing, but that is just a sweet, sweet sound. Anyway, so I have Plastidipped the back wheels in matte black, and the brake calipers and the drums in red. Hopefully tomorrow I will do the front, the passenger rear wheel. Paint that drum red as well and Plastidip that wheel. It's been quite difficult for me to get the jack that I have was one of the Halford jacks that I got when I got it as an early Christmas present for myself. It has a jack, axle stands, the yoke that you lie on that brings you onto the car, but the jack doesn't seem to go high enough to want to be able to. So let's fucking floor it here and see what it sounds like. Oh yes! Admittedly, the blow-off valve was about €300. I got it from a chap called Jesse Streeter, who is an importer, and he bought it brand new from Takeoff. I can't remember exactly how much it was in yen, but I think it was around 300-ish. Either maybe 30 above, 30 below, I'm not 100% too sure, but it does sound fucking lovely. Jesse's fee is very reasonable. I think it's roughly 10%. I could be mistaken on that. So for €300 he made himself about 30. He posts it out to you and job done. It's very easy, very straightforward. Pay him with PayPal and he will find anything you want. So I've gotten a few things from Yahoo Auctions from him. He'll bid for you on Yahoo Auctions if you want to go down that route, and I got a few things. I've got the blow-off valve brand new, seatbelt anchors brand new, both from K-Takeoff. I got some AC pipes because one of the AC pipes, so I've been told, on my car is completely and utterly fucked. It's rusted through. I tried looking, but because I can't get underneath the car because my Halford jack is so shite, I can't lift up the entire car fully to be able to go underneath there. I haven't been able to do that. So we'll see what the crack is. I might have to drop it down to a guy, down to a proper mechanic, so he can take a look at it. It was a mechanic that I managed to get a group on off of for an oil filter change. He also bought the wrong filter for the Copen, the one that doesn't fit through the engine bay. The blueprint ones apparently don't fit through the engine bay, although there's not that much of a difference in height between the blueprint one and either the MAL, I think it's OC475. Oh look, there's a nice Porsche. Affluence! Driving around Castle Knox, yelling affluence out of the window. What else did I buy from Jesse? I got a tonneau cover as well. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that the tonneau cover requires clips that go between the gap when the roof folds down and the bulkhead. It requires clips to go on the top of that to hold it into place. Me being a fucking idiot didn't realise that. So I need to get him to get me that. That's what he's gotten me that already. It hasn't arrived yet though. The tonneau cover did before I realised that I'm missing parts because I'm a fucking idiot. I also got, because they were going very, very cheap, some wheel nuts that I plan on painting red. I have loads of the Halford's brake caliper paint, Now, you look at the tin, I think it was about €15 or £10, I'm not 100% too sure. It'll be available on halfords.com or .co.uk anyway. And it looks really small, but even with 4 coats of paint on the 2 brake calipers, and I think it was about 4 coats of paint on the driver's back drum, there's still about half the can left. So I'm well impressed by it. I might have to do a few touch-ups. I've heard that maybe I should put a clear coat, a lacquer over it to help prevent it from going manky and rusty. Not really rusty, but deteriorating the paint. I didn't bother doing a video of the brake caliper stuff because there's plenty of them already on YouTube. It just involves taking the wheel off, breaking the tension on the wheel nuts, jacking the car up, taking the wheel off, then getting what's the word I'm looking for? Getting a wire brush and brushing off all of the rust and the grime and the detritus, shall we say, that you always end up getting. I used some Holt's brake cleaner to clean it off as well. Halfords do a brake caliper cleaner that has a tiny little red hose, a bit like a WD-40 hose, so I used that as well. By right, I probably shouldn't have bought well, I got 2 cans of Holt's brake cleaner because they were on special offer in Mixed Garage. So I reckon I probably would have gotten away with just the normal brake cleaner and without the Halfords brake cleaner. But I also got some of their paint prep wipes for the brake calipers as well, and they really clean up all of the utter shite. They're a bit like paper towels that are soaked in some form of chemical. Not great on your skin, so I've been using gloves. I had those gloves for years back when I used to work in a chemistry lab, because I was allergic to the gloves that they had. I don't know why. I don't have a latex. Latex is a document markup language. I don't have a latex allergy, so I was somewhat perturbed by why my hands would always be itchy afterwards. It could have just been the talc that was inside it. We'll see. So, yeah, a few bits and bobs coming from Jesse. What is this fool doing? Come on. I don't really like ever beating at people, but this is a slip road. He mustn't be from here. So, at least I know the horn works in the Copen. There was a number of issues that I found with the Copen, which is probably why I got it very, very cheap. The AC pipe being one of them. All the tools in the back were missing, so the goo for the tyres was missing. I've replaced that. That probably would have expired anyway, so I've replaced it with some Holt's tyre weld. And the jack was missing, so my dad got me a jack from Halfords at Christmas, which is what I used to jack up the back of the car for to paint the fucking drums, because I didn't really like using the trolley jack there, and he got me a scissors jack that fits in the hole in the boot without any issue, so I used that. It seems fairly stable. I don't think it was ever going to fall down because it's a screw jack, which is what I think. I'm fairly sure pretty much every single scissor jack is a screw jack. So I was quite happy with leaving it there for a few hours. You really need to budget time when you're doing the plastic dip and the paint caliper, painting the calipers, because the drying time between coating the calipers is about an hour. So it takes at least 4 hours, even if you know what you're doing. The first time I'd done it, because I was a bit apprehensive about jacking up the front, because there's the 2 tow hooks, basically where the driver sits and the passenger sits, so I jacked them up there and then put axle stands underneath it. If I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't use the axle stands. I know what you're going to say, always use fucking axle stands, but I think the scissor jack should be fine. If someone can turn around to me and say that I shouldn't be using a scissor jack and I must use an axle stand, then so be it. But my understanding is that you only use the axle stands with the trolley jack, because the hydraulics in a trolley jack can fail at a moment's notice without actually telling you that it's going to fail. So I don't think that's going to be the case with the scissor or screw jack. Perhaps I'm taking a bit of a risk doing it, but whoop-de-fuck, I can jack it back up anyway. So we'll see. So the few mods I have planned anyway, the wheels came out really, really nice for £7.50 a wheel for the plastic from Cardiff, UK. You get them in a spray can, in an aerosol can. I would recommend, if you're going to do plastic dipping of your wheels, or of your trim or anything like that, that you go to Halford, sell this thing called a Can Gun 1. So it's CANGUN, the number 1. And that is, it's essentially a gun. No fucking shit. It's a gun that you fit the can into, and you pull it like a trigger of a gun. So as opposed to your hand constantly being in a claw position, which can be very annoying. Oh yeah. With it being it's holding it as if it's a trigger, and it makes using it far more easy than holding onto it with your hand. You need to leave about 15 minutes between each coat of plastic. And what I would recommend is waiting, if you're going to do both the caliper, well, try to do both the calipers and the plastic at the same time, because the calipers will take the longest amount of time, and if you time it right, you can leave the wheels to finally dry, because it does take a while for the final dry to go through. Realistically, you should be waiting about 24 hours for it to fully firm up. Now, I haven't done that with my back wheel, so I'll see what that is like in a few days' time. But the two front wheels were over 2 weeks ago. Admittedly, I haven't been driving that much, mainly because of work. I was working last weekend, but I've been driving around this weekend, and it's held together really well. I was convinced that I had curbed my front drivers the last day, and thankfully I didn't. And I was terrified I would have scraped the shite out of the plastic, but I think it just must have rubbed the sidewall against the side of the curb, which is good. And the plasties also helped hide some curb rash that was already on the wheels. There's a fair bit of curb rash on the passenger's rear. I want to see what it's going to take to sort that out. But we'll see what happens. So far, it's actually coped very well with at least trying to hide some of the curb rash and dings and dents that you get. I don't know if I'd do an entire car in plastic myself. There is a guy here in Ireland called Aquaprint, and he will plaster your car. But I'm somewhat apprehensive in case, because the clear coat on this car isn't super fantastic, I'd be somewhat apprehensive in the event that it would basically eat a big chunk of the clear when you go to pull off the oh yeah, when you go to pull off with the plastic. No, it shouldn't eat clear, but I want to take a more more cautious approach to doing it than anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much what most of the mods I've been doing for quite a while. I've gotten the wind deflector up. That was my previous video. It turns out that the wind deflector was made incorrectly, and Bernard replaced it for me. Thank you very much, Bernard. Well, I call him Bernard. I think his name is Bernhard. I'm not too sure. He's from Germany. I think his eBay shop is called Pegelin, or it's not even an eBay shop. His shop is called Pegelin Sport. So just make sure that when you take everything out, it all fits together before you start assembling everything, or you'll break your little control arms, which is what I've done. It was £60 fucking from a breakers to get a new one. If I had known about Jesse back then, I could have gotten one for about €7, excluding postage, of course, and I probably would have done that instead. So I'm very happy with most of the mods I've done so far. I will end up having to do an awful lot of rust prevention and maintenance on the Copen. There is a substantial, well, not substantial, a non-trivial amount of rust. So that'll all need to be taken care of, and then after that it should be plain sailing. So, oh shit, so I am, oh, it sounds so sexual. So I am going to end this video now, and it's been an absolute pleasure as always speaking to you folks, and I will catch you soon. Bye!